Hey guys, long time no see. I have been off for a while. My kiddos and I have been sick, and I'm really excited to jump back on here and share with you guys about some changes that have come up with our homeschool. And as you can see, this is new curriculum, so I will get into that as soon as I am done introducing myself and share with you guys what we're going to be doing and what we're going to be changing in our homeschool. So I am a homeschool mom of two. I have a son in kindergarten and a daughter in second grade, and on my channel I share all about our homeschool, our journey, our curriculum, the reviews, the books that we like, and share with you guys honestly like what's going on, what's happening. This video is not sponsored, or I was not given this for my review. This I purchased solely on my own because I was curious to see what was going to work for my daughter. She got tired of The Good and the Beautiful, and she did not want to do it anymore, and it was a little overwhelming, she told me in her own words, and I don't want to see my daughter overwhelmed. I wanted to push through it because the teacher in me, like the mom teacher in me, wanted to just continue on with The Good and the Beautiful. If you've seen my updates, you know that I've been kind of pushing it, and the pushing kind of came to a halt. I just had to humble myself a little bit and think back at like what I would want my mom to do if she were homeschooling me. And I want her to be joyful. I want her to be excited about language arts. I don't want her to be dreading it. So that is just the short story in itself. I went on Amazon one night and I purchased this. This is about $27 or $30. I'll link the Amazon link down below. But it's very affordable and everything's all in one. It's a very thick book, and I'm excited about the change. I think it's going to be very refreshing for us because we were doing The Good and the Beautiful all last year and a little bit throughout the summer, and then we did it for like a month and a half with the new school year, or even longer. So this will be nice. And at the beginning, I've noticed it's a little more simple, and then it gets harder as it goes. So it'll be nice that she can kind of breeze through the beginning and feel confident and build herself back up again and really enjoy learning new things. So I'm going to open this up for you guys and share with you guys my first impressions of it and how she liked it. If you're interested in hearing about that, stay tuned. This is the scope and sequence that they give you at the beginning of the book, which I think is super cute. I love the graphics, and I know that's not the most important thing. Usually the inside and the lessons are, but I'm just a sucker for like pretty artwork, and this is so cute. I love how they use little characters in here, and they do have two characters in the storyline, and they have short stories at the beginning of some of the lessons, so it carries throughout the course, which is really nice. They have a daily schedule where they explain how this is set up, and then as you can see, if you pause it, everything's detailed out. So lesson 18, reading, consonant blend, words a, an, usage, and suffix. So they're discussing how to put a and an in the words, in the sentences that they use, which we actually went over not too long ago in The Good and the Beautiful. So there's a lot of things on here that are covered that are also covered in level 1 for The Good and the Beautiful. Now this is grade 2. With The Good and the Beautiful, there's no grades, there's levels. So that's the only difference with that. So using this course, this is just the little keys over here and some of the things that they have symbols for that you can look for in the lessons, and then the course description. And they do mention that this is Charlotte Mason flavored approach to language arts for elementary age kids, which I really think is good because I'm into short sessions of teaching my kids throughout the day. I don't sit and do work with them like the whole entire morning. We take breaks, they play, they go off and do things, and they come back and we regroup. So this one says approximately 20 to 30 minutes per lesson, 5 days a week. My daughter probably did one lesson within 10-15 minutes, maybe a lesson and a half, but also it was the beginning, so it was easy. But I'll show you guys what she did today. A note from the author about this course. I'm going to just briefly talk about this, and then I'll get into it right away so you can see what I'm talking about. The first day of the weekly schedule is a special feature. So every other week starts with a short story, which my daughter loves. She likes reading it, so we read it together. The weeks in between alternate between picture studies and reading poetry or a psalm. And then each quarter follows the pattern. So which is really nice. And then they do a little light lesson that follows, and that's exactly what we did today. So the second and third days of the week covers writing topics such as grammar and punctuation, which is one of the main reasons why I wanted to switch. I wanted her to be more independent doing it because she wants to be independent to a certain degree. They are the tools that put tools put into their hands of the students to use on day 4. So that's true. Day 4, they create a story, psalm, or a poem, and then they have an activity designed to give the students an opportunity to use their skills. And then the 5th day is when the student focuses on spelling and vocabulary, and they build a dictionary, which is really awesome. And then they have a first semester suggested daily schedule, day 1 through day 5. So they go through all the weeks, and they have the assignments and the exercises with the page numbers, and you can check them off, and you can grade it depending upon how you homeschool. I don't grade. My state doesn't need it, so it depends on what your state requires of you. So, and then they have the second semester, and I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to tell you guys how my daughter liked it so far for her first day. This is our first day impressions for me as a teacher and for my daughter. So this was a lesson that we read through. Her and I read it together, and then we answer the questions here at the bottom. And I love these little notes where it says narration practice, teacher note, please review reading and narration tips at the beginning of the book, and these cute little pictures. I don't know, it makes me excited. My daughter liked it, and they, again, like I think I mentioned at the beginning, Micah and Claire, these are the friends that are going to be talked about throughout the book. So it's nice how it has like a continuation of a story that's something that they're going to be reading. I like just put post-it notes on my daughter's name across the top, if you're wondering what that is. But we skipped the alphabet and the vowels because this is something that I feel is very, very simple and she should know by now. This is kind of similar to the Good and the Beautiful for level 1. We did do this at the beginning of her first grade year, but I think that this is something that a kindergartner or a first grader would know, but I think they're just trying to review and see where the kid's at. So for the second day, so she did this, she read this, and then we skipped this, and then we did this day 2 for the first day. So this is grammar practice, and it gives them a definition of a noun, and then they copy what the noun is. So they had copy work here, and then I talked to her about making sure that there's like more spaces in between when she writes sentences, because she has not done lots of sentence structure and grammar. She writes freely, like we have free writing, or she does a lot of storytelling and I dictate it, or we just, do things the way she wants to. She makes lists and copies recipes, but we don't really formally sit down and go through sentence structure, which is why I think this book is good for her. So a person, she wrote down her brother. Can you think of any other kinds of people? Write one here. I like how they give you examples. It could be a teacher, your sister, your brother, a sales clerk, a place. It could be your backyard, a park, a beach. Can you think of other places? Write one here. So she thought of a candy store. Why not, right? So that to her is fun. I think she likes questions that are personable to her, and she can write what she thinks and what she wants to write for herself. Again, a thing that can be a toy, a car, ice cream. Can you think of other things? Write a thing here for noun. And she wrote lollipops, and she wanted me to help her with the spelling of that. And then that's what she did. And then when we got back from our co-op today, she wanted to do more because she loved it. And this is brand new to her, so I think that's why she has this excitement about this program, and it's something new, and she's been dreading the Good and the Beautiful. For her, this is a breath of fresh air. And like I said, the Good and Beautiful, there's nothing wrong with it. I love it. She just didn't like it at this moment in time. So we went over capitalization and punctuation. So she read this on her own, and I reviewed it with her after she read it because she was wondering what she needed to do here. So more than likely she didn't understand the directions. So I'm going to make sure I am going to be with her and guide her through it, but I think she wants to do some of it independently. So we shall see. She might get used to the format of the lessons and exercises, so we'll see. So they said underline the word that has a capital letter and circle the exclamation point, which she did right here. So super simple, very, very doable for a second grader doing it on her own. And she had to copy the sentence, so they have a copy work practice right here. The game soon began, and with a period. And it reminds you right here, did you remember to start the first word with a capital letter and end the sentence with a period? If not, be sure to fix it. So that was so true. She did not have her period here, so she was able to do that when she read this down here. And of course, there needs to be more space in the sentence, but we're getting there. Fill in the first word of each sentence. So before long, they were busy talking about the game, and pairs of children in the class faced off, and they looked at Mr. Lopez before he said their team won. And I just made a line here because she needed to practice lowercase y. She was making uppercase y, so we just kind of practiced here, and then she told a story. Draw a picture of your story and write your sentence on the back of the page. So she wrote her sentence on the back of the page, and she used her spaces a little bit better. So she's doing a lot of writing, and even though she did like a lot of, you know, worksheets the first day, I told her she doesn't have to do it, but she wanted to. So I don't know if she's going to want to do 3 to 4 exercises a day, depending upon how she feels. This is exercise 5, day 5. So this will be the end of the week's lessons, and we'll probably just continue on at her pace. I have a feeling she's going to go through this pretty quickly because it seems pretty simple and it's not too overwhelming. That's a good thing. And then I think eventually when she goes to the middle of the book, she'll slow down naturally because she's going to be challenged more with what she's learning. And so that's great because we started this curriculum at a month and a half into our homeschool. So if she goes fast at the beginning, then she'll stay on point and we'll be able to pick up on the 3rd grade book or go back to the Good and the Beautiful, depending upon what she wants to do. So the 5th day is always about spelling and vocabulary. It's cab, dad, sad. These to me are super, super easy for her. Her spelling with the Good and the Beautiful and what we do with Explode the Code 4 is a lot more advanced than this. Like this to me would be more for kindergartners or really young 1st graders, and she's a young 2nd grader. So I am going to just scrap the vocabulary words as far as spelling them and practicing them because we already have a spelling list that we use with Explode the Code that we do. And so she'll just use this in the sentences and fill them in. And she could make a sentence out of these words, which is wonderful for me, but I won't be like having her spell them and do tests with these words unless they get a little harder. So this is the 2nd lesson, and it's a picture study. And some of the picture studies are more vintage from the 1800s. Some of them are more modern like this, and some of them are biblically based. They're going to be doing the alphabet and copying it down and practicing, making it really nice, which I think is good. This seems a little easy for me, but I always feel that there can always be improvement of her handwriting, so that is fine for me. So this is what it looks like for the first few lessons. I just skipped over this, but they are going to be learning a memorization verse for day 1, for exercise 1, day 11. This is lesson 12. They're going to be doing OW sounds, syllables. They're giving them examples. We're actually doing this right now in Explode the Code level 4. So they are dividing it into 2 syllables. And actually hers, she's dividing 2 consonants apart to make 2 syllables. So this is good. This is on day 56. They're going to learn about irregular plural nouns and initials, which is really good because I've never taught her that before. Tell your story. And then here's some spelling practice for day 60. This is lesson 12. So this is the spelling words, which I feel are pretty simple to me. I think they're pretty easy, but maybe more at her level now, I guess. But the DAD and the 3-letter words I think were super simple. And here is the writing your spelling words, and then they could do them orally with you. Let's go into the middle so you can see what it looks like in the middle. If you guys are new to this, just like me, like this is the first time I'm ever going through this whole entire book. This is lesson 23, and they're going to read a short story, do a narration, memorization, sound, doing observation skills, grammar practice, go, went, and gone. And then they're going to fill this in and make sentences out of go, went, and went, gone. They're doing prefixes, which she actually worked on with the Good and the Beautiful. So it seems like they're pretty much in the same, they're doing the same sort of things. And I'm assuming in 3rd grade, she'll be repeating a lot of these concepts to make sure that it's reinforced and she doesn't forget it. And then on the day 4 exercises, they always do like a story and a picture. So if your kid is not into drawing or if they're not into writing that much, this might not be the curriculum for them. But you could always do lots of these things verbally. So if they wanted to draw a picture, but they don't feel comfortable writing a story about it at this point in time, They can dictate it to you and you could write it in for them, or you can have them write the first 2 sentences and you can finish it off, or you can have a highlighter and they could trace your letters, which might be a better way to go because some kids don't like to write and they're reluctant writers. So you don't want to force them to do something that they don't love if they're not ready for it. So here's lesson 28. And I think all the yellow highlighted is what the student's supposed to read, and all the purple is what the mom or the teacher's supposed to read, or the dad. And at the beginning, you can tell when we were reading it, there's only 3 little sentences that she was supposed to read, but she likes to read more. So I guess as it progresses, the kids are reading way more. Almost the whole entire thing, I guess, to the very end of the lesson book. So this is lesson 31. They're reading Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And they're learning about rhyming. They're going to memorize nouns, possessive nouns, filling in the blanks with these words. And then they're going to be learning about how to write number words. And they're going to write a poem here. And the space is used to draw a picture or write more of your poem here. And then day 5, they're going to be doing spelling practice with irregular plural words. So I might, at the middle of the book, go ahead and start doing the spelling words that I feel like are challenging for her, because it goes along with the lesson. So if they're talking about irregular plural words here in the lesson, it's really good to continue on with their spelling words that they're asking them to go over. So that might be good for her at the end. So this is super fun. I think that this is wonderful. They're going to learn how to write a letter at the end, and then they have to address it to the person and write the date here, and then they could put their signature here. So it's really, really fun. This is lesson 35. And I'll show you the last day so you can see exactly what they'll be going over the last day and what's expected of them, I guess. So this is lesson 36. They will be reading this with you, circling the sentence that best tells about the picture, and then writing a sentence or 2 that tells more about the picture. They're going to be doing homophones, synonyms, here finding the differences, writing a letter, envelope, name, street, city, state, abbreviation, zip code. They do go over abbreviation for the days of the week and for states and everything in here, which I thought was great. And then they're going to learn how to spell the number words, and then they have these little boxes. And writing a fun sentence using their spelling words again right here, and all these teacher aids here. So they have assessments, reading list, recommended book list for reading practice, creating your own dictionary, activities, games, spelling practice. And for the student, there's spelling lists and all of these copy practices. They have calendar study sheets, grammar study sheets. So let's do, oh, and then answer keys. I might have to take those out. She might be a little sneaky. All right, but here, let me see. Just to look at one of them, I'm really interested in the grammar study sheet. So 447. So like I said, this is 100 pages of extra stuff to help you as the teacher and the student. So these are little study sheets that you can have in their notebook if you want, or make copies of, talking about nouns, proper nouns, pronoun. They could be like, Mom, I don't understand. I forgot. What is a pronoun? So they can come back here and reference it by themselves and feel like they are able to do things on their own more independently without having to ask you, giving examples of homophones. So I really like this. This is really cool. And the colors are so nice. So that's a very short. And then there's some answer keys there if you're like, what? That doesn't make sense. If you're having like a mom brain. Is it a mom brain? Yeah. If you're having a mom brain, you can definitely use the answer keys in the back. But for 2nd grade, I think I should be okay. We'll see. 3rd grade, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. But that is what I wanted to share with you guys. I know this has been a long video, but I just wanted to come on here and just give you a little chit chat of how it went for the first day, my first impressions, and why we're moving on from the good and the beautiful. I hope that this has helped you guys out if you are trying to figure out what you want to do for this next homeschool year, if you're still on the fence about things, or maybe for next year you're wanting to homeschool your kids and you just don't know what to do. So this is definitely an option. The Good and the Beautiful is really awesome. They also have great curriculum at Bob Jones University. My friend Candace from Homeschool on a Hill did a 2nd grade review on that, and I will try to link that video down below. but she did a whole review on second grade for BJU, and it looked fantastic too. And then there's Abeka, which has really great, lots of great reviews on their language arts. So if you guys have any other questions about how I do my daughter's language arts, let me know. This is just a very long video, so I didn't want to go into it, but in a very small, without going into too much detail, she'll be doing this for her grammar and punctuation and reading comprehension. This is more for the grammar and punctuation. Explode the Code that she's doing will be for her phonics mastery and for her spelling, and I'll be doing spelling words with her that way, and her spelling list that way. And then for her reading, she reads certain chapter books that she's into, and then I have her she reads on her own, and then I'll have her read to me at least once a day for a few minutes, and then she'll read on her own. I don't set a time or anything, but she reads on her own for about sometimes 10 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes, all depends upon what she feels like. Sometimes she might read more, and then sometimes she might read less. So that is what we do here at our homeschool. But if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below or private message me at my email down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this very honest and long flip through of the book to show you guys what this is all about and our homeschool changes that we're going to be making, and I'm excited about it. It's definitely something that you can do as a homeschool mom. You can change things up a bit. You're not married to a certain curriculum. The curriculum is just a guide for you guys, and that's what I want to let you guys know, that it is a guide for us to use. You can use it however you want, and you can take whatever you want from it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.